Hello, welcome to another edition of DBE TV News. You can watch this bulletin every week on the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel and on OpenView Channel 122. I am Tsehohajo Moagi. In our top stories this week, learners from Phulamadibogo Primary School in Gauteng have been released from hospital. Basic Education Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule launches the breakfast program in Mpumalanga, and the South African Principals Association Conference takes place in KwaZulu-Natal. Learners from Phulamadibogo Primary School have been released from hospital after allegedly eating what is suspected to be a muffin laced with marijuana. A total of 90 learners from grade R to 7 started having stomach cramps and vomiting, and teachers then called emergency services. Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane has announced that 87 learners have been discharged and 3 girls are still hospitalized and getting medical attention. Chilwane expressed great concern and urged learners to be more vigilant with what they consume and purchase. The alleged sellers have been identified and the matter is under investigation. Now, staying in the Gauteng province and on a positive note, the Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane has launched yet another school of specialization, this time in sports, in Ratanda in Heidelberg. Kanya Lesedi Sports School has an exceptional sports history and will provide learners with an opportunity to sharpen their sports skills while also focusing on their academic careers. The specialized curriculum includes scientific innovation in physical health, subjects such as sports science and exercise, which plays a vital role in shaping the various aspects in sports training. Chilwane stated that the aim of the schools of specialization is to produce learners that are fully skilled and offer innovative solutions.
The aspect that we want to achieve as a department, and I saw that is within your mission and vision. What we are doing as a department, we are producing future citizens. Education does not produce just educated people that do Olivan. Our goal is not just that. We are producing citizens for the country. And the caliber of the citizens of the country will be seen by the caliber and quality of the education system that they have. That's what we are producing, and that is our goal. Our goal is to make sure that we produce learners that are able to solve our problems.
Meanwhile, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture held a 2-day sports indaba to review sports programs implemented in schools. The indaba was hosted at Birchwood Hotel in Boksburg. The vision of this indaba is to support school sports by creating an active and winning nation and revitalizing sports in South Africa. Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Zizi Godwa, described sports and physical education as a critical aspect of a happy and healthy lifestyle and teaching and learning. He outlined measures that have been put in place and implemented to improve sports programs in schools and stressed the need for functional sports facilities.
Is what needs to be done. Where to from now? There is a need to invest in development of local expertise through running of sport academies from foundation phase, establish bilateral agreements with other governments for the creation of development opportunities for studies in different sporting fields like sports science, movement science, sports psychology, and lastly, the creation of internship opportunities for graduates in our schools and sport clubs, which explains the point I made earlier, why we invited some of the countries that are present here today. One of the key characteristics of sport, as outlined in the white paper on sport and recreation, program director, is that sport is a facility-dependent activity. want to repeat that point. Sport is a facility-dependent activity. The logic here is that there is no sport code that could be practiced without an appropriate facility. For this reason, National Sport and Recreation Plan contends that provision and maintenance of facilities forms the foundation of entire sport and recreation system. Therefore, if facilities backlogs are not addressed, it will be difficult to achieve transformation, sport development, and increased participation in objectives in sport.
Now, in other news, Basic Education Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule, in partnership with the Start Foundation and Tiger Brands, launched an in-school breakfast program in Hazyview in Mpumalanga. The breakfast program is part, of course, of the National School Nutrition Program that takes place in schools. This program marks a significant step in strengthening the public-private partnership in hope to protect learning and teaching by ensuring that learners have access to food at school. Dr. Mhaule expressed appreciation of the collaboration, highlighting that learners need additional resources besides education, and that can be achieved through such partnerships.
Education alone cannot do all the work, especially when it needs financial resources. The financial resources of the department are not enough. They need partners. And that's why we appreciate partners like Tiger Brand and Star Foundations. They saw it fit that let's get into the space, because we started feeding the learners in 1994 to have this National School Nutrition Program. And we started with few schools as something that we are piloting, we're expanding, and we expanded to an extent that now we feed 9 million learners in the country out of 21 schools. In 21 schools out of 21,000 schools out of 23,000 schools of government. So you can see that 21, we only 3,000 that are not fed. So it tells that this program is very important. And learners cannot concentrate from an empty stomach. They must be fed, and the level of concentration.
Learners from various circuits in Emalahleni performed for their third-term assessments at the Emalahleni Civic Theatre. Both learners and teachers received donations, including sanitary pads, stationery, water, and food parcels. Learners were performing exceptionally well on creative arts, and the subject has spiked an art interest. Now, let's have a look at the performances.
Grabbing poverty and kids with their own lips.
When we return, we look into innovative moments for learners and the disability indaba.
Learners in grade R11, feeling stuck or confused? Have you lost learning time in the last while? Well, Tswelopele is back to help you catch up. Find resources on the DBE cloud to use and share. Watch support lessons on TV or on our YouTube channel, where you will find exciting lessons in key grade R to 9 subjects. And for grade 10 to 11, have fun learning in many different subjects. Join our community of learners and teachers, parents and caregivers on Facebook, where there are tips and advice for better learning. Need help? Contact us via our WhatsApp line and get support on all your subject problems. Stay connected. You can count on us. Check out our website to find out more at www.tswelopele.org.za. Tswelopele.
The KwaZulu-Natal Department of Education, together with the Department of Justice and South African Human Rights Commission, hosted the 2023 Provincial Moot Court Competition. The school moot court programs provides an opportunity for the legal profession to engage with the learners on promoting the country's constitution and the law. The winners of the competition will represent the province at a national level. Staying in the province, Basic Education Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule applauded teachers and principals for their hard work. She also thanked them for consistently producing exceptional results despite some difficult circumstances they may find themselves in. She was speaking at the South African Principals Association conference that was held under the theme Surfacing the Waves of Change at the Durban International Conference Centre in KZN. The organization focuses on principals who are not aligned to any political party or organization or any other education body or union. South African Principal Association President Grant Butler motivated principals to lead with integrity and dedication and adapt a positive change.
Surfers and principals must always remember that it is not the size of the waves that define us, but how we ride them. Not change that defines us, but how we respond to change. The alternative is to be overwhelmed by a wave that catches you completely by surprise. Like a wave, unpredicted change will sweep you off your feet, dump you on your head, and roll you onto the beach, bedraggled, bewildered, and covered in sand. Not so for SAPA-led schools. Gathering together annually at conferences like this one is very much like what surfers do at the backline behind the breaking waves. They watch the horizon, we watch the horizon. They note the changes, we note the changes. They shift position, we shift position. They share advice or simply move with those who are more experienced. We take advice and move with those amongst us with more experience. They respond to what they see coming. We respond to what we see coming, and we move forward, propelled by positive change.
Dr. Mhaule highlighted that the conference's timing is befitting as it is hosted at a time when reading for meaning is one of the top priorities for the basic education sector.
The theme of this conference, Surfing the Waves of Change, is befitting as the conference is held at a time when the department is at the verge of positioning itself at a competitive advantage by preparing its learners in reading with meaning and understanding, so as to be at a competitive advantage in the international reading and literacy studies, that is PALS and TIMS.
She further stated that learner performance is determined by the quality of education provided.
We are being criticized by this as if somebody pushed us to participate. We decided to want to gauge ourselves. And we're not competing with the mediocre. We're competing with the best. And we are doing better. So, and these children, the question, they don't say these ones because they come from Africa. All along it was only South Africa that is participating. Now it's only 3 countries of Africa. Africa, only 3. And even the 2, they are coming from the highly developed.
Now still in the KZN province, the Department of Communication and Digital Technologies, in collaboration with State Information Technology Agency, convened the 2023 GovTech Conference. The conference was hosted under the theme Platform Economy for Digital Transformation and Inclusive Growth. Learners at the conference had a chance to interact with different technology exhibitors and experience the latest gadgets. This is what took place at the conference.
Good day, my name is Kelvin Fortuin. I am an educated at West Bank Secondary School. This is our team, also known as SportTech, which means we refer to our team slogan or our goal as closing the gap. It is designed, this is Jaylee Smith, This is Sharik Du Plessis, Percival Jankies, and Chantay Martinez. Each of them have fulfilled a very critical role, as you can see on the banner there, in order to make this a success. We designed this device, or they designed the device, in order to help blind people, deaf people, and people with learning disabilities to cope and to function in a normal society. And that's why we refer to it as closing the gap. This means we close the gap between disability and normal functioning within society without hindrances. So that's this device known as Portec, and it's also our company's name. This one over here is a flame sensor and a hazardous gas sensor, which can detect flames and hazardous gases whenever it is in the vicinity.
Our journey started in Mpumalanga. We first went to Mpumalanga for our robotics challenge. That was a great experience as well. We worked very hard to get there with our coding, our building. We put all our ideas together to make this, and it's been a great journey. And to be here today, it's so amazing. It's very inspiring for us.
Basically, the problem statement of their project is to solve the shortage of water in the community and reduce the workload that they come across after school, as they need to go around long distance, go to fetch water. That disadvantages them because they don't have enough time to do their schoolwork, to do their homework, to prepare for the following day. So my learners, they decided to design a robot, not a robot only, a robot which works with a windmill. What does basically do? The windmill pumps water from the ground, as we are from Mpumalanga, high reach of underground water. After pumping it, send it to the reservoir. Then where comes the robot tanker to collect the water from the reservoir, and basically it go and supply the water in each household. By doing so, it reduces the workload, it reduces the distance of them walking to go and collect water.
Moving over to Mpumalanga now, where the Provincial Department of Education hosted a 2-day disability indaba at Nomanini Lodge in White River. The indaba looks into improving human resource capacity, recruitment and retention of qualified professionals to support learners living with disabilities. Challenges that are continuously faced by learners living with disabilities, such as access to quality education, the need for families to support the learners, and creating an inclusive society for people with disabilities were a huge part of the discussions that took place. This is what the province hopes to achieve from the indaba.
Work is not oneself. Kill the spirit of self and do not live above your people but with them. If you rise above them, take somebody with you. In keeping to the profound words of Charlotte Maxeke, the mother of Black freedom, the Mpumalanga Department of Education is making significant inroads to create favorable home for everyone, including learners with disabilities, because without them, the department would not be complete. Currently, there are 140 full-service schools and 18 special schools which provide education in keeping to the dictates of White Paper for People with Disabilities within the place of the rising sun. The well-being of children with disabilities remains one of the top mandates for the department, and every effort is being done not to leave anyone behind.
That's how we end this bulletin this week on the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel and on OpenView, channel 122. Do remember to send us your stories or comments by contacting us on our X handle at DBE TV News and on Facebook, DBE TV News. Thank you for watching.